श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। ஷீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதார்யம் கவிதார்க்கிக கேசரி வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ஹிருதி. ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். சீரொன்று தோப்பும் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் ஆறொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழிகள் போரொன்று தானே அமையாதோர் அரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஆர்த்தோவா எதிவா திருப்தா, இப்போதே அபிமத சித்தி உண்டாக வேண்டும் என்று விளம்பட்சமனன்றிக்கே இருக்குமாம் விளம்பித்து பெறலாவது ஒரு பலத்தை கோலி என்றேனுமாக. அபிமதம் பேஜ் 116. அபிமதம் சித்தமாக ஒன்றோம் என்று தேறி இருக்கோம். இவனுக்கும் அபிமதத்தை பற்ற அகிஞ்சனத்தையாலே ஆர்த்தி உண்டு. Because the surrenderer adopts the first step, namely helplessness. So he has urgency to receive the fruits of surrender. So what does he want? He wants something favorite, desire to be fulfilled. What is that favorite desire? Moksha. Moksha is otherwise called Kainkaryam. Kainkaryam is service. So it is enough that it's not a shift from one place to another place, from Bhuloka to Vaikuntha. Whereas there may be other desires, but all other desires must be given up as Vibhishana did. And therefore, the only desire that all of us, all the surrenderers must have is to seek his blessings, or rather to do service. That's all. But again, he is in a hurry to do service. So, Anganandrike, Prashraya Bhayadi Yuktana Irukoma. Now, there may be some apprehension, fear in the mind of, doubt in the fear of the surrenderer about the way, the right way of adoption of all the steps of surrender. இவையன்றிக்கே இருக்குவோமாம் என்று ஆர்த்த திருப்த விபாகம் சொல்லுவார்கள். We already saw the difference between artha and dripta. So artha is a person who demands immediate solution or immediate result. He wants immediate result on surrendering. And dripta is he can afford to wait. A surrenderer surrenderer feels that he can afford to wait. So vibhagam solluvargal. This is the difference. Paresham Sharanagataha, we already saw that some people surrender to the enemies. So Paresham, so number one meaning is enemies. Number two meaning others. So they surrender to others. Instead of the right person, they go to the wrong person. And even if so, the protector must extend safety to the surrenderer. This is what the policy of Sri Rama in the incarnation. So, idukku mun muhamariyadariடம் இந்த விடத்தே வரவு அமையும். In fact, the wrong persons, either they are enemies or friends, are not familiar to the surrenderer. முகமரியாதார் இருந்த விடத்தே வரவு அமையும். Now, without any familiarity, the surrenderer must have gone to a wrong person. Then, Arihi, enemy, அவன் சத்ருத்துவம் அடியராதே உள்ளே கிடக்க செய்தே மித்ரபாவனையை பண்ணி வந்தாலுமாம். Knowing full well that the enmity is in the heart, in spite of it, if the surrenderer feels friendship toward the protector, then the protector must extend the safety. Pranan parityajya rakshitavyaha. The maximum sacrifice will be giving up one's own life, and therefore even an enemy must be protected by the Sharanya, namely the protector, even by giving up one's own life. Pranan parityajya. Giving up one's own life, Shakshitavyaha, he must be protected. Astirangalana pranangalai vittu ஸ்திரமான சரணாகத சக்ஷண தர்மத்தை பற்றவனன்றோ பிராப்தம். Now, for a hero in a war, the missiles, the weapons that he possesses will be very dear to the heroes. So, in order that for self-defense and also attacking the enemy, the weapons will be used by the hero in a war. And they will, so again, I mistook it as astrangal. So, astirangalana pranangalai vittu. The life is always transitory, temporary. Therefore, though Jivatma is indestructible, it has no death. But normally we say that if one passes away, we say the life has gone out. And therefore, so let us not worry about the temporary nature of the life, rather Jivatma. Then Stiramana Sharanagata Rakshana Dharmati Patravanro Praptam. So it is the duty of the surrenderer to worry about the permanent policy of seeking protection. So surrendering at the feet of the Lord. That is more important than life itself. And again, the same sentence can give us the meaning. Namely, the protector also should not worry about his own life. So he must give up his life and then protect the surrenderer. Both of them should be mutually the same attitude. That is, the surrenderer should not worry about his own life. The protector also should not worry about his own life. Ivartatai. So, Atma pranihi parapranan yonaraf parirakshati sayati paramam sthanam yasmat na avartate punaha. So this is again Itihasa Samuchayam, 4th chapter, 74th verse. A human being, Yaha Naraha, who Parirakshati, protects in all round way, by his own life, Atma Pranaihi, protects the Parapranan, the enemy's life. If somebody, the protector saves the enemy's life by giving up his own life, Saha, he, Yati goes, Paramam Sthanam, Srivaikuntam. He goes to the highest place, Yasmat, from which, Punaha again, Na Avartate, does not return. So that's the meaning of this. So Itihasa Samuchayam says this. So Tannuire Koduttu, Piraruire, Evan Rachikirano, Avan Tirimbi Vardal Nenbadilla, the Nityamana Uyanda Lokate Adikiran. So this is the policy of Rama, and therefore he has no reservation about accepting Vibhishana. So we saw that already the first step, namely Akinchanata, meaning Puhalatramai, helplessness. Then Prashraya Bhayad Yuktaha. We saw that the surrenderer has got some fear, and that is because of his humility. Prashraya is respect, regard. Adakkam in Tamil, meaning humility. He is modest, and therefore he is afraid. So Bayam Mudaliyavattodu Kudiyavan. The surrenderer has fear that the protector will save him or not. And because of his humility, he thinks so. Astira Nilayatra, impermanent. So we go to 117. Now, so in the story of the pigeon, Shena Kapota Upakyanatile, the pigeon has been chased by the vulture, Shena. So Kapota Upakyanatile, in the story between the vulture and the pigeon, Shibi Kuritu Indran Sonna. Shibi was appreciated by Indra. Pranairapi Taya Rajan, the first two lines. Pranairapi Taya Rajan, Rakshitah Kripano Janaha. Fortunately, the weak soul has been protected by you, O King, by your giving up your own life. That is actually, he cut off some flesh from his thigh and gave it to the vulture. That's what we understand. So Kritatmana is a person who has completed his duty, rather who is grateful, who is lucky, and so on. இப்படி செய்யாத போது இவன் கற்ற கல்வி எல்லாம் என் செய்ததாக கடவுள். For that matter, of course, Shibi was a king, Rama was a king, and that means a king must have studied all books of philosophy. He must study scriptures as a Kshatriya. He must understand very clearly the policies of the scriptures and whether to save a surrenderer or not. So இப்படி செய்யாத போது, when he doesn't follow the scriptures, that is, if or had Shibi not protected the pigeon from the vulture, then even கற்ற கல்வி எல்லாம் என் செய்ததாக கடவுள். We can say that he is uneducated. A king is an illiterate, though he has studied all books, all shastras, that he is swerving from the path of dharma, that he is not following the scriptures by not protecting the pigeon. Vidushotikrame dandabhuyastvam ennumpadiyam ittanayire. Now, if an educated person behaves in a queer way, I think in US they have another usage, another word to use. Weird they use. WEIRD. So Vidushodhikrame. So when the educated man behaves abnormal, danda boyastvam, he has to be punished, that's all. So he is fit for punishment. Ennambadiyam ittanayire. Tannai rakshita vanarathi tallina vedanai pole. In the story of a monkey and a hunter, where the hunter pushes down the monkey, Rakshitanana Sharanagatan, namely hunter, when it was again protected by the monkey, Rakshitanana Sharanagatan, because he has been protected safe. Kritaghananai Pratikulanana Bodhu. So hunter became ungrateful, Kritaghananai. So he was ungrateful and Pratikulanana Bodhu. Not only he was ungrateful, but also acted against the protector, namely the monkey. So when the hunter pushed down the monkey, then avanuடைய சிக்ஷாதிகளில் while to punish the surrenderer, namely the hunter, அதிகிருத்தனாகில் அம்முகத்தாலே ரட்சிக்கவும், அவற்றில் அதிகிருத்தன் அல்லாத போது பின்பு அவன் அனுதப்தனாய் சரணாகதனாகில் க்ஷமிக்கவும், அங்கனல்லாத போது உபேட்சிக்கலான பிராதிகூல்யம். So let us take the first word, அதிகிருத்தனாகில்.
சுவாமி இந்த இதுல அதாவது நிறைய படிச்சவன் தப்பு பண்ணா நிறைய தண்டனை கொடுக்கணும். அதாவது பிராமணர்களுக்கு தான் அதிக தண்டனைன்னு
மனுஸ்மிருதி,
அப்படி மனுஸ்மிருதி இருக்கு. அது இந்த இதுக்கு இதுவா இருக்கணும். படிச்சா கூட நீ படிச்சவன் தப்பு பண்ணா அவனுக்கு தான் he will get the most worst punishment,
severe punishment.
அதான்
தண்ட போயஸ்துவங்கிறது, அந்த போயகாங்கிறது சொல்ல மறந்துட்டேன். So repeated punishment to the educated person. Danda boyastvam. Boyastvam is as you correctly said, excessive punishment to be meted out to the educated person. Vidushotikrame. Vidushaha atikrame. When he oversteps his propriety. When the educated man goes beyond normal behavior, then he must be punished again and again. Danda boyastvam. Heavy punishment must be given to him. Right, you are right. The same way here also, atikritanahil. Now in the case of, this is in the case of surrenderer. So atikritanahil, after becoming ungrateful, the hunter pushed the monkey also down. That means he has overreacted. Unfortunately, being ungrateful. So ammuhattale rakshikavu. So without any retaliation, he must be saved. So the monkey felt that even when the hunter pushed it down, he must be saved. And that looks a little odd in our thinking, namely, somebody does harm to me, and then how can I save him? Somebody repeatedly gives trouble to me, and then how can I have the mind to save him? But we must have the mind to save. Avatil atikritan allada bodu, if he has not overstepped his action, then sharana anutaptanai, pinbu avan anutaptanai, when he regrets later, taptanai, he feels the regret. So he is sorry. He feels sorry. Sharanagatananahil. Then again, so in this case, supposing hunter had surrendered to the monkey again, then Chamiko. Monkey did not think of these things, but we are the monkeys, rather, we are the human beings to analyze this kind of attitude of monkey, which saved hunter even after the hunter pushed it down. So Sharanagata Nanahil Chamiko. So there is no doubt that if the hunter falls at the feet of the monkey again, it will be protected surely. But in spite of it, even Atikritanahil Ammuhattale Rakshikav. for the misbehavior of the surrenderer, he must not be left in lurch. So, Anganallada Bodu, again, if these two aspects are not there, Upekshikkalana, next page, please. Pratikulyate Upekshikavum, Tanude Vadhati Paryantamaha Pravartikkumaghil, Shastra Virodhamillada Maryadayale, Yatha Shakti Velaki Kollavum Prapta. Now, so what the best the protector can do is this. Suppose the surrenderer does not follow any step, he doesn't feel helpless, he is ungrateful, he is doing what he is not expected to do, rather does harm to the protector and so on. And he is not worried about his own misdoings, namely disobeying the scriptural injunctions. So that's what we call pratikulyate upekshikav. When he doesn't care for the follow-up of scriptural commandments, then so he knows that tannude vadhati paryantama. He knows definitely that it will lead to his death. He will be killed. Protector will not keep quiet, keep calm. So, tannude vadhati paryantama. He leads himself to death. So, he invites death. Pravartikkumahil, if it happens. So, Shastra Virodham illada Maryadayale. According to the limit, Maryada is limit here. So, according to the limitations of Shastra, without antagonizing the injunctions, Shastra Virodham illada Maryadayale, Yatha Shakti Velaki Kollavum Prapta. The protector need not worry about him and therefore can be indifferent. Because if he invites, the surrenderer invites his own death, and then according to one's own power, the protector will not worry about him. He can withdraw the support. So, Mele rendu shlokathale, by the verses, 2 verses above, Sharanagata Parityagathil varum Drishtadrishta Pratyavayangale aruli cheigirar. Now this is the explanation for the above paragraph. Namely, suppose the surrenderer must be deserted. Sharanagata Parityagathil. Unfortunately, the surrenderer has to be rejected. Drishtadrishta Pratyavayangal. We can expect tangible troubles and invisible troubles. Visible troubles and invisible troubles. What are the visible troubles and invisible troubles which accrue to the protector when the surrenderer is left on his own? So again, I think it's same Itihasa Samuchayam must be the quotation. Svapi narakshitaha swaya shaktya yatha satyam tat papam loka harikitam. Because this verse says opposite. So if the protector out of fear, bhayat, mohat out of confusion, kamat out of some desire, narakshitaha, saha narakshitaha, if the surrenderer is not protected, swaya shaktya, by his own limited power, namely the protector has got a limited power. So swaya shaktya, yatha satyam, according to the rules, yatha satyam means according to the truth embedded in the Shastras, tat papam loka garhitam. even then that will be sin of the protector, and all the universe will find fault with you. If there are some impediments like pratyavaya, we say, pratyavaya, impediment, drishta pratyavaya. So, known and unknown troubles, impediments, known by the from the protector's side. So, you say, Yuddha Kandam, 18th canto, 30th verse. Rama's policy is always to protect. பயத்தினாலாவது அறியாமையாலாவது அல்லது வேறு வகையாலாவது தன் சக்தி உள்ளளவும் வஞ்சனை செய்யாமல் வஞ்சனை இல்லாமல் சரணாகதனை ரட்சிக்காவிட்டால் அது பாபம், உலகமே தூற்றும். Whole world will find fault with such a protector out of fear or out of ignorance or out of some other reason of desire. If he doesn't protect the surrenderer according to his capacity, again all the people will find fault with him. So drishta pratyavaya meaning ivvulagilum paralokathilum varum idaiyorgal. I think paralokathilum varum idaiyorgal meaning if the protector does not save the surrenderer, he may face troubles in the next world. So that means he may have to go to hell. Instead of going to Vaikuntham, he might be pushed into the hell. That is what we call adrishta pratyavayanga, unknown troubles. Drishta is in this world, the protector will be blamed by all people. That is the problem. In the next world, he will face problems if he doesn't protect. The savior should protect always the surrenderer. So, Ulahamellam avanai nindikum. So, this is what, so again, in spite of all misbehaviors, ungratefulness, the wrong action by the surrenderer, by doing harm to the protector. So all this will not stop the protector from saving the surrenderer. It is an extreme step taken by Rama. Of course, Vibhishana is not such a person. Vibhishana he doesn't misbehave. Vibhishana is not ungrateful. And therefore, but even then, so he gives many options. Rama gives Sugriva and others many options by which the protector cannot avoid protecting the surrenderer. That is the surprise that we have. That is the wonder that we have in the character of Rama. So that's why we say Rama, God's character cannot be understood clearly. No character, no auspicious character of the God can be understood very easily by us. So we'll go to page 119. Naliyil Shaivadan ennum achchathale adal என்றபடி. Now, what is the fear in the protector? How can protector entertain fear? The reason is given. Suppose in the process of protection, I lose strength as a protector. That is the fear. Naliyil Shaivadan in the sense, during protection. So, of course, one has to give up life, right? So, even after the protector gives up his life, suppose the surrenderer is not saved, final result we have to see. If the surrenderer is not saved, in spite of the sacrifice of life by the protector, so what will happen? Generally, the protector will incur sin, even after his death. And therefore, during the process of protection, if the protector feels weak, Naliyil Shaivad, N. So what will I do if I become weak? Ennum acchattale adu. That is what we call fear in the mind of the protector. Otherwise, the protector should not be afraid of saving the surrender. That is right. And then Sendra Takshaka Nyayam inge kandukollu. I think this refers to Parikshit Raja's son, Janamejaya, who performed a Sarpa Yaga, a sacrifice of snakes. So all snakes were pulled down to the fire. And I think that is the problem here. I don't know whether we can see that in the star notes. Yeah, right. That's why I'm right. So Janamejaya's Parikshit's son was Janameja, king, a great king Janameja. He performed Sarpayaga. So what happened was, the story. Within 7 days, the sage's son, who was insulted by Parikshit, so his son cursed him to be bitten by the snake Takshaka. So Takshaka is one of the eight quarters guardian. We have got 8 guardians of 8 directions in gods, 8 elephants, 8 snakes also. So one of them is Takshaka. Takshaka in Sanskrit also means carpenter. So Takshaka was a snake who bite Parikshit. And therefore Janamejaya got angry because his father was dead by the snake. So he performed Sarpayaga, and with the help of a rishi called Astika. Astika was the Maharishi, great sage, with whose help Janamejaya performed a snake sacrifice. So when he did it, Takshaka also was pulled to the fire. Takshaka surrendered Indra. Then the Ritviks, the priests of the sacrifice, they said, along with Indra, Takshaka will fall into the fire. Indranodu kuda Takshakanum vandu Agniyil Vizhakkadavan. So they said the mantras. They said pronounced the spells that Lord of Gods also will fall into the fire along with Takshaka. Why this is done? Generally it is said that Takshaka went to surrender to the feet of Indra, and then the snake wound round one of the 4 legs of his couch bed of Indra, and then Indra was lifted by the spell's power along with the bed. Takshaka also was brought to the place of fire. Then, so idanal Durbalanayirandavane Sharanamadaindal, avan Tannayum Sharanamadaindavaniyume Iruvarayume Rakshika Mudiyamal Pohum engira Nayam Suchitam. So if Indra protect the snake, that is Indra is the protector and the snake is the surrenderer. Takshaka is the surrenderer. If Indra is weak in protecting the surrenderer, then what should we do? There the protector feels weak. Bhayam, feels the fear. That's what we saw in the first line. That means the protector, even if he possesses fear, should protect the surrender. And of course, the final problem is for both surrenderer and the protector. Surrenderer dies because he could not be saved. the protector goes to hell. So he incurs sins. So now what happened to in this story, Indra, Takshaka, Janamejaya, Parikshit, etc. Astika, the Maharishi, the great sage, asked Janamejaya to stop the sacrifice before Takshaka could fall into the fire. And therefore, Takshaka was saved by the Maharishi, Astika. And Janamejaya, according to the advice of the sage, stopped the sacrifice. Otherwise, he wanted to take vengeance on all the snakes of the world. That is the... So this is actually what we call a logic, where the protector cannot save out of fear. Because Indra cannot disobey the spells also, Vedic mantras. The problem is that. So we'll go to the text. Idrisham Vyasanam Praptam Bhrataram Yah Parityajete, that is Yuddhakanda. So we will go to the text on the top of 119. Yeah. So Idrisham Vyasanam Praptam Bhrataram Yah Parityajete Endrat Pole. So it is in the emergency situation that Vibhishana deserted the brother, Bhrataram. So Yahahu Bhrataram Parityajete, because he deserted his brother, Idrisham Vyasanam Praptam. He came to suffering. That's what we say. So who left whom? Ravana deserted Vibhishana. Ravana deserted Vibhishana and Ravana got into trouble. Idrisham Vyasanam Praptam. When Vibhishana and the brother was giving good advice, Ravana did not heed to the advice, did not listen to the advice, and therefore he got into trouble. So, Idrisham Vyasanam Praptam Bhrataram Yaf Parityajet. Endrar pole. So, Yukti Abhasangalale, Vanda Kalakattale Adal Endrabadi. So, what is the trouble with the protector here? The trouble with the protector is there are so many what we call protocol or policies, the tricks, strategies called yukti. So they seem to be good. Ravana did not consider Vibhishana's advice as palatable. That was the problem. So he thought rejecting Vibhishana will be the right policy. That's what landed him in trouble. Yukti abhasangal. Abhasam looks as though right, but it's not right. So Vanda Kalakattale, because of the confusion in the mind of Ravana, therefore he did it. In the same way, the protector cannot have confusion. So he must not think of false policies and then get confused. That's what mohadva. The word mohadva is given by the explanation. Yukti abhasangalale vanda kalakattale adal. Everybody. Then we have kamadva. So what is the desire as an impediment to the protection by the protector of the surrenderer? Shastra adi langhana hetuvane swachanda svabhavattale adal. So the protector has, as a human being, we all have our own habits, our own what we call long cherished usual behavior. So swachanda svabhavattale. So we always act at the free will. We want to have idiosyncrasies, right? So swachanda svabhavattale. Swabhavam nature. So I cannot transgress my own nature. That is my problem. And swachanda. I always roam at will. So my thinking is different, peculiarly particular to me. And therefore, Swachanda Swabhavattale, because of the innate nature, which is that free will of the protector. So what will you do? So Shastradi Langana Hetu. It becomes the reason for transgressing the scriptures. Shastra Adi, Shastra Adi, all scriptures, all itihasas, Puranas, Smritis and so on, Dharma Shastras. So all will be transgressed. And the reason for transgressing is my own, as he said, idiosyncrasies, wrong thinking, because of the free will that we have. So Anganandrike, yeah, that's what I said, habitual behavior. So Anganandrike, Himsa Ruchikalana Rakshasare Pole. Now all demons love troubling others. That is what generally it's a common policy of the demons. So Himsa Ruchikalana Rakshasare Pole. Suppose we understand that this Vibhishana also is fond of troubling the party of Rama. So even Paduvada Kandal Ahado Vengira Viparita Ruchiale. If Rama thinks that Vibhishana deserves this punishment of being rejected by Ravana. So even Paduvada Kandal meaning this Vibhishana suffering in the hands of Ravana. Ahado, let him suffer. So Rama thought that Vibhishana could suffer in the hands of Ravana. Atilanganam is over enthusiastic. That is crossing over.
Oh, okay.
Shastra, very good. Your interpretation is also very good. I said Shastra, etc. But you said Shastra Atilanganam. Atilanganam is overshooting. That is crisscrossing, rather disobeying completely. Atilanganam. Langanam is disobeying. Atilanganam is...
இந்த அதிகிருத்தன்னு சொன்னாங்களா, அதுவும் இது ஒண்ணா இருக்குமா?
அதேதான் அதிகிருத்தனாகில். இங்க வந்து இந்த நமக்கு என்ன சொல்றோம், நம்ம சாஸ்திரத்துல சமுத்திர லங்கனம் is to be avoided, no crossing the ocean.
தாண்டறது சமுத்திரம் தாண்டறது.
The same way here, disobeying the shastras. And atilanganam is overshooting. That is overlooking the shastras. Heavy overlooking of shastras. And so viparita ruchiyale adal ennuvam. So that means the protector has own fancies. I repeat the word of Keshav Swami, idiosyncrasies. And we have some other taste. Which is wrong. The protector has some other taste which is wrong. Viparita ruchiyale. And therefore, if protectors like Rama reject demons like Vibhishana, because Vibhishana was a demon, and because the protector has got different types of taste, if he is not protected, so let us have the feeling, let Vibhishana suffer. So அப்படியே சரணாகதனுடைய சத்ருவின் பக்கலிலே. We have to go to the next page. One 2-0. Yeah. சரணாகதனின் பக்கலிலே கைக்கூலியை ஆசைப்பட்டு என்னவுமா. This is of course out of the scope of protection, but still, suppose the protector expects anything in return for the protection extended to the surrenderer. Kaikuliyai hasipattu. The kaikuli is, you can say, wages on the hand.
Expecting return. Expecting return.
That's what we call it. Sometimes you can say, Sanskrit la kuda or word irukku.
Prati.
இல்ல தமிழ்ல வந்து கையூட்டு, சம்ஸ்கிருதத்துல வந்து அஷ்டாத்தியாயில இருக்கு, லஞ்சம்க்கு இருக்கு. உத்கோச்சகான்னு பேரு. உத்கோச்சகா. Utkochaha. Utkochaha is a word in Ashtadhyayi of the grammar book. Panini's Ashtadhyayi. Utkochaha is second century BC word. Utkochaha means lanjam, under the table. So that is what our kaikuli asipattu ennuvamo. So there are 3 or 4 reasons why the protector is hesitating to protect. Number 1, fear. Number 2, I think is doubt. Then overshooting the rules of Shastras. And the fear is out of in the process, suppose the protector gets weak. Let's see. So happy. So even though பூர்வ அபகாரங்களை நினைத்து வரும் ஔதாசீன்யம் முதலான வேறு ஏதேனும் ஒரு ஹேத்துவாலே ஆகுமோ. So if the protector recalls to his mind all the harms done by the surrenderer earlier, பூர்வ அபகாரங்களை நினைத்து வரும் ஔதாசீன்யம் is indifference, rejection, ஔதாசீன்யம் முதலான வேறு ஏதோனும் ஒரு ஹேத்துவாலே ஆகும். If the protector is indifferent towards the surrenderer, remembering the harm done by the surrenderer earlier, then that will also be a reason for rejection of the surrenderer by the protector. And therefore, na rakshitaha. Suppose the surrenderer is not protected. கிணற்றின் கரையில் பிள்ளையை வாங்காதார் போலே. Somebody wants to throw the child into the well. He is not the parent. But the parent, what should he do? Immediately catch the child from falling into the well. So somebody runs to the well in order to throw a child into the well. And the parent should follow and stop him and get back the child. கிணற்றின் கரையில் பிள்ளையை வாங்காதார் போலே. Suppose he remains still and he does not take action of snatching away the child from the hands of the treacherer. ரக்ஷியாத மட்டும் கிடீர் நாம் சொல்லப்புகிற பாவம். The sin that accrues to the non-protector will be till the surrenderer is not saved. So the surrenderer must be saved at all costs. That is the essence of this policy of Rama. So நலி மழுவலே என்ன விளைய கடவுள். So இப்படியானால் தானே, so being afraid of the sin that we will accrue, the protectors must always remember why we must entertain fear. நலியும் அளவிலே என்ன விளைய கிடவுது. We must say nothing can stop me from protecting the surrenderer. That should be the firm thought of the protector. So what will happen if I protect him? நலியும் அளவிலே என்ன விளைய கிடவுது. Suppose I become weak, then what is the what if? That's the meaning. So swaya shaktya, tan shakti vanchanam pannade rakshikava. So apply all the efforts. The protector must protect the surrenderer. Angana mandrike கை கொள்ளவுமாம் கைவிடவுமாம் தான் வல்லதொரு விரகால் என்று தாத்பரியம். There is no later thinking, second thought that whether he can be accepted or should be rejected. We must think twice before rejecting him, but there is no second thought for protecting him. Valladoru virahal. Valladoru, our strong will to protect him is more important than giving him up. This is the essence, Tatparyam. Raghu Prabhratigal, Brahmanadigali Tangal Kaikondu Rakshitar. All the kings supported the community of twice born so that the world will prosper by the rituals conducted by the Brahmins. Therefore, all kings in the solar race, like Raghu, saved the society of Brahmins. தேவர்களும் ரிஷிகளும் காகத்தை போக்கற்றதென்று பெருமாள் கை கொள்ளுகைக்காக தாங்கள் கைவிட்டு ரட்சித்தார். Now, the gods and sages did not protect the crow. Why? Because they thought that the highest protector is Lord Rama, and they didn't want to take the credit of protecting the crow against Rama's will, number one. So they wanted to prove the popularity of Rama's karuna, the mercy, and therefore the gods did not protect. And also they also showed that the gods are incapable of protecting the crow because it has done harm, a serious harm to the goddess Mahalakshmi, Sita. And therefore, the gods had thought a lot before rejecting the crow. And also the sages. The gods and the sages left the crow without giving and extending protection, because final protector is only the Lord, Sriman Narayana. Therefore, Perumal kai kollugaikkaga தாங்கள் கைவிட்டு ரட்சித்தார். So there are so many aspects, because first one is gods and sages are not capable of protecting, number one. That means they have what we call naliya, the word naliya we saw here. So they became weak in protection of the crow. Number two, they had fear that they will be punished for protecting the crow. So the gods and sages will incur sin when there is a highest protector, and therefore they left him away. So yatha satyam, லோகத்துக்கு கண்காணிகளாக படைத்த ஆதித்யாதி 14 சாட்சிகளும் இவர்களுக்கு, so yatha satyam, according to the truth, மேல் கண்காணியாய், okay, மேல் கண்காணியாய், next page 21, சர்வசாட்சியான சர்வேஸ்வரனும் கண்டு கொண்டிருக்க. That crow cannot be saved by them, because there are 14 witnesses in the whole world, who observe everybody's action everywhere, and they must always obey the highest protector, namely Sriman Narayana, and he is also Sarva Sakshiyai. So he is above all, and he is witness to all activities. So Sarveshwaranam Kandukondu. Rama was also observing as Almighty the crow's action. So the crows roaming over all the worlds to get protection. So all the gods and sages rejected. And of course, final policy that we understand is whether the protector is weak or not, or strong or weak, whether the protector has fear or not, the surrenderer must at any cost should be saved.
ராமானுஜதயாபாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்கியபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத் வெங்கடநாதாத்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேதிகம் கவிதார்க்கிகசிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேசாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமः. வாதித்விவசிரோபங்க பஞ்சான பராக்கிரமா ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதாத்ய ஸ்ரீயம் விஜயதாம் புவி சிரம் விஜயதாம் புவி சீரொன்று தோபோதிரு வெங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே வையாதோரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
Somebody was saying, how do you behave as a protector, or so how do you help others? I said vachika kainkaryam. That is because of Keshavdas Swami's help. We are able to deal with some topics which should be understood by all. Therefore, it's a sort of service. But the service must be utilized completely.
Especially the Abhaya Pradana Saram of Rama's personality and the gunam and all that we have to imbibe. Just small portion of it, if we can imbibe, I think it will be very nice. Beautiful subject.
No, I actually enjoyed it as a young person, student in those days. And therefore I took it up. But I saw so many aspects of protection, protector, surrenderer, so many. Of course, the surrenderer also should be qualified. And in the sense, having studied books, surrenderer also must follow the steps properly.
And listening to this, my love for Rama has grown so much. Oh my God, you don't even think of Rama, just my love for him.
The only fear in our mind is, can we imitate Rama? That's it. It's not possible.
No, we're not imitating Rama. We're imitating Vibhishana. That's easy. We're demons. We're asuras.
Right.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம் கவிதார்க்கிகசிம்ஹாய கல்யாணகுணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.